And my answer about life, listen, I have a choice. I can be
Mm,
happy about, my life and where I'm going, or I can be unhappy about it. But I'm going to acknowledge, so I have a choice about that. Anyone who's choosing to be unhappy, that's their thing. I am probably going to be the first of a lot of things today that I'm going to talk about. And
okay.
one of the themes I think in my life and growing up and through my adulthood is I have been the first in a lot of things that I've done. So I have done things that typically my people, so to speak, aren't that interested in doing. So I wound up having to do it alone, or the first one that looked like me doing it. And I think as a kid, I felt lonely, but it wasn't something that you could really talk. Okay, you're lonely. Who are you going to tell? It was one of those families, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. What's said in our house stays in our house. you know, there are poor children in China. So what do you got to complain about? So what we learned early on was to, keep it in within ourselves and not talk about it. So what that did for me, or how it manifested itself in my life, was I wound up being very dishonest. Meaning, if you asked me a question, I would answer you, but I would always give you the right answer versus the honest answer. No other reason other than curiosity. I was curious about what drugs did. I learned how to use them. So anytime I was feeling something, to enhance the feeling of excitement, I would use more drugs. To dampen the feeling of shame, hurt, and anger, I would do more drugs. Um, long story short, I'm smoking crack. Now I'm a grown up smoking crack. So what I did was I marched down to the post office and I said, I quit. Well, why are you leaving? Well, because I got a drug problem. And if I didn't make so much money, I wouldn't do drugs. So I quit the job and realized I still had a drug problem. And now I don't have any money.